Holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming. Tis the season of cheer. Look around, something's coming, coming to town.
For St Andrews, it's Mrs Nicholas here doing our assembly this morning, and it's all about one of my favourite things, as you can see from my little festive headgear. It's all about Christmas. Now, during our assembly this morning, I've got a number of challenges I'm going to be asking you to take part in, so I need you all participating. The first challenge I've got for you this morning is, you will notice throughout my assembly I've hidden a number of little stars. You might be able to spot one on this page on your screen at the moment. So as I'm doing my assembly, I want you to see if you can spot where I've hidden some of these stars, and at the end we'll see if you have managed to find them all. Now, I just want you to have a think about, when you think about Christmas, what do you maybe in films or on TV programs, or that you've read in books? So I'm going to give you 30 seconds to shout to your partner. Can you think of that you associate with Christmas? Okay, let's see how many you came up with and whether you came up with similar things as I did. So I thought of all of these different things. So I thought of the Star of Bethlehem. I thought about Christmas presents under the tree. One of my favourite things is coming down in the morning and seeing those Christmas presents. And the angel, which we're going to talk a little bit more about later on. We've got stockings probably filled with gifts rather than lumps of coal. We've got the nativity scenes for celebrating the birth of Jesus just over 2,000 years ago. We've got celebrating with friends and family. We've got chocolate advent calendars. We've got beautifully decorated Christmas trees. We have snow, building snowmen. So I'm keeping everything crossed this year. We get a little bit of snow, because that'd be a really lovely way to finish off 2020, is being able to get outside and maybe do sledging and build some snowmen and do some snow angels. And then last but not least, one of my favourite parts of Christmas Day is sitting down with my family and enjoying a delicious Sunday roast. So I've got a little game that I want us to play now. So on your screen, you will see there are 4 different Christmas trees, and they're all very, very, very different from one another. What I want you to have a think about now, and you can talk to the person next to you, is which is your favourite Christmas tree and which is your least favourite Christmas tree. But most importantly, I want you to have a think about giving a reason why. So why have you chosen your most favourite as your most favourite Christmas tree? And why have you chosen the least favourite as your least favourite Christmas tree? So I'm going to give you maybe 30 seconds to have a think about which is your most favourite and least favourite, and your reasons why. I think my class will probably be able to guess which one is my favourite. I'm not going to say. I think they'll be able to guess. So your teacher might decide to pause it now to hear some of your reasons why you've chosen your most favourite and your least favourite. Now, next up, parts of a roast dinner. So we've got roast potatoes, Yorkshire puddings, carrots, but again, that could represent all vegetables on your roast dinner, and then roast turkey. So again, same thing, I want to have a think about. You can talk to the person next to you. Which is your most favourite part of your roast dinner, and which is your least favourite part of your roast dinner? Now, I'll let you in on a secret. My most favourite part is definitely roast potatoes. My mum makes probably the best roast potatoes in the whole wide world, and I love it when I can go around there and she always puts extra roasties on my plate. So again, have a think which is your most favourite and which is your least favourite, and see if we can give that reason why as well, so justifying our opinion. And again, your teacher might decide to pause it now to hear some of your reasons for and against. And last but not least, now, this is something I have to admit I am not great at, which is wrapping presents. Might always look a little bit scruffy and untidy, unfortunately. It's definitely something I want to work on this year to try and get better at. So we've got A, which is quite neutral, some kind of plants and some holly threaded in. We've got B, which is wrapped up like a snowman. We've got C, which is bright red and bright green shiny paper. And then last but not least, we have got D, which is silver and very, very, very glittery. So again, have a think, which is your most favourite style of wrapping and which is your least favourite style? And can you give that reason why? And again, your teacher might decide to pause it to hear some of those reasons. Don't forget to keep looking out for those stars. You might be able to spot one on the page. Now, in the UK, Christians celebrate Christmas, and we have lots of traditions here in the UK for celebrating Christmas. However, what I have found is some traditions that Christians kind of celebrate all around the world. So we're going to have a look at 3 different traditions that Christians follow in the lead up and in preparation for Christmas. So the first one we're going to have a look at is in the Philippines, and it is a giant lantern festival. And the Giant Lantern Festival is held each year on the Saturday before Christmas Eve in the city of San Fernando, which is the Christmas capital of the Philippines. And the festival attracts spectators from all over the country and across the globe. 11 different villages take part in the festival, and competition is fierce as everyone pitches in trying to build the most elaborate and beautiful lantern. Originally, the lanterns were simple creations around 1/2 metre in diameter and made from Japanese origami paper and lit with candles. But today, the lanterns are made from a variety of different materials and have grown to around 6 metres in size. They are illuminated by electric bulbs that sparkle in a kaleidoscope of different patterns. We're now going to have a quick look at how, or a tradition that they celebrate or they have in Sweden. So you might be thinking, goodness me, Mrs Nicholas, what on earth is this? So this tradition was started in Sweden, and it's been taking place since 1966, where a 13-metre tall Yule goat is built in the centre of Gavle's Castle Square for the Advent. So to mark Advent, they build this giant goat in the middle of this square, and you can see lots and lots and lots of people have come to visit it. And the last one we're going to have a look at is a tradition that they have in Iceland, and it's called the Yule Lads. And in the 13 days leading up to Christmas, 13 tricksy troll-like characters come out to play in Iceland. The Yule Lads visit the children across the country over the 13 nights leading up to Christmas. And for each night of Yuletide, children place their best shoes by the window, and a different Yule Lad visits, leaving gifts for nice girls and boys and rotten potatoes for the naughty ones. So each of them wears a traditional Icelandic costume, and these fellas are pretty mischievous in what they get up to. So I wonder, if you lived in Iceland, would you be having shoes filled with nice treats, or would you be having it filled with rotten potatoes? I wonder. Now, what your teacher's going to do in a minute is they're going to pause the video, and I put the link to the Christian story of the first Christmas. It took place just over 2,000 years ago. So you're going to watch the video in a minute, but after that we're going to play a little game, which is called Babble Gabble, and it's one of my favourites. So just to go through, in case you haven't played it before, you've got 1 minute, but you will have 1 minute to describe the Christmas story. Now, you have to include the following words. So it has to include Bethlehem, Mary and Joseph, journey, innkeeper, shepherds, angel Gabriel, stable, and manger. Okay, so that bit's quite straightforward, but this is where it gets harder. So if you say or take a pause longer than 2 seconds, then you lose. Okay, so you can't say and you can't take a pause longer than 2 seconds. Your teacher might decide to be slightly harsher and only give you a pause of 1 second, or they might be slightly kinder and give you a pause maybe of 3 seconds. So your teacher can decide, okay? But if you do say the word you lose. And if you've taken that pause, whatever you decide in your class, then you also lose. And I want you to work out and let me know who's going to be your class champion. Now, 6K will tell you, I am rubbish at this game. I don't realise how many times I say in a sentence, which is a bit rubbish of me, and it's something that I'm trying to improve on. Some of my class are incredible at this game, so it'll be interesting to see if one of you from one of the other classes can beat my class. So your teacher's now going to pause the video, and they're going to click on the link which I saved, and you're going to watch the Christmas story, and then we're going to come back to this game. So I want you to have a go at Babble Gabble. Now, you might choose one or two children. You might decide to do it after the assembly, maybe this afternoon, but it'd be lovely to hear who is your class champion. So who got closest to a minute describing the Christmas story after we've watched the little video, which goes through just in case there's any bits that you have forgotten. So your teacher's going to pause it now and go and watch the video. Okay, look forward to hearing you back and having you back in a minute. Right, so hopefully you've now watched the video, and your challenge, as I said, is to have a go at Babble Gabble. I can't wait to hear who's going to be your class champion, who gets as close to how close you get to that 1 minute. Now, to finish my assembly this morning, last little challenge. How many stars did you spot throughout my assembly this morning? I wonder if anyone's got it spot on. So the number of stars was, I wonder if you can do a little drum roll in your class, 19. Well done if you got it correct. There were some really, really well hidden stars in there. So Diane T, if you managed to find every single one. Diolch yn fawr iawn for listening so beautifully this morning, St Andrews. I have loved doing this assembly, all about one of my favourite celebrations this year. So take care, enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you around school very soon. Diolch chi!